Welcome back to our deep dive into the foundations of colonial America. In the last episode, we uncovered the struggles and triumphs of the first English settlements in Jamestown and Plymouth. I will give you a card at the end of this video. Today, we continue this journey exploring how the middle and southern colonies emerged as vital centers of culture, commerce, and innovation. The journey of colonial America didn't stop with Jamestown and Plymouth. As settlers pushed further into the New World, new colonies emerged, each with distinct identities shaped by geography, culture, and ambition. In this video, we'll explore the Middle and Southern colonies, regions that became the backbone of America's agricultural wealth and cultural diversity. What drew people to these lands? How did their economies thrive? And what role did slavery play in their development? Stick with us as we uncover the complex story of these pivotal colonies and their lasting impact on history. The Middle Colonies were a vibrant mosaic of cultures, religions, and economic activities, earning them the nickname the breadbasket of America. Unlike their northern and southern counterparts, these colonies became a melting pot of European immigrants, fostering tolerance and innovation that would shape their development. New York, originally a Dutch settlement known as New Amsterdam, was captured by the English in 1664 and renamed in honor of the Duke of York. Its prime location along the Hudson River made it a hub for trade and immigration. Merchants, farmers, and artisans flocked to the growing city, establishing it as a diverse and bustling port. The city's early population included Dutch, English, German, and African residents, reflecting the colony's broad appeal. To the south, Pennsylvania stood out as a model of religious tolerance and democratic principles. Founded by William Penn in 1681, the colony was envisioned as a holy experiment where Quakers and other persecuted groups could live freely. Penn's policies attracted settlers from across Europe, including Germans, Scots-Irish, and Swedes. Philadelphia, its largest city, quickly became a center of commerce, education, and political thought. By the mid-18th century, it was one of the largest cities in the colonies, boasting a thriving marketplace and institutions like the University of Pennsylvania. The fertile lands of the Middle Colonies were ideal for farming, and their agricultural output became essential to the economy. Wheat, barley, and oats were grown in abundance, earning the region its breadbasket reputation. This agricultural wealth was supported by an innovative system of river-based trade, connecting inland farms to bustling ports. Small-scale manufacturing also began to take root, with industries like ironworking and shipbuilding contributing to the economy. Religious diversity was another defining characteristic. In addition to Quakers, the Middle Colonies welcomed Catholics, Jews, and Protestants from various denominations. Unlike the more rigidly Puritan society of New England, these colonies fostered an atmosphere of tolerance and coexistence. This diversity often led to tensions, but also encouraged collaboration and exchange of ideas. The colonies of New Jersey and Delaware further enriched the region's cultural and economic landscape. New Jersey's fertile land attracted farmers, while its proximity to both New York and Philadelphia positioned it as a critical link in colonial trade networks. Delaware, though small, played a significant role as an agricultural and industrial hub, with its mills and shipyards driving local economies. The Middle Colony's unique blend of economic opportunity, cultural diversity, and religious freedom made them a microcosm of what America would later become. They demonstrated that prosperity could be achieved through tolerance and cooperation, setting a precedent for the pluralistic society the United States would evolve into. The Southern colonies, consisting of Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia, developed an economy deeply rooted in agriculture. Blessed with fertile soil, a warm climate, and a long growing season, this region became the agricultural powerhouse of colonial America. From the very beginning, cash crops like tobacco, rice, and indigo drove economic growth, shaping the society and labor systems of the South. Tobacco was the first major cash crop, introduced to Virginia by John Rolfe in the early 1600s. The success of tobacco cultivation created a demand for large tracts of land and a labor force capable of intensive work. At first, this demand was met through the use of indentured servants, men and women from England who agreed to work for a period of time in exchange for passage to the New World. However, as the profitability of tobacco soared and the supply of willing servants dwindled, the colonies turned to a new source of labor: enslaved Africans. The transatlantic slave trade soon became the backbone of the Southern economy. By the late 1600s, enslaved people were being transported in vast numbers to the colonies, where they were forced to work under brutal conditions. Slavery became institutionalized, with laws codifying the status of enslaved individuals and ensuring that their children would also be enslaved. This system provided plantation owners with a steady, unpaid labor force to cultivate their crops, fueling the region's economic growth at an immense human cost. The structure of Southern society became deeply hierarchical, with a small elite class of wealthy plantation owners at the top. These landowners amassed incredible wealth, building grand estates and exerting significant political and social influence. Below them were small farmers, laborers, and tradespeople. At the bottom of the hierarchy were enslaved Africans, whose lives were defined by hardship, exploitation, and resistance. Plantation life revolved around the production of cash crops. Large estates often operated like self-contained villages, with enslaved people performing a wide range of tasks, from planting and harvesting to cooking, carpentry, and blacksmithing. Despite the harsh conditions, enslaved individuals maintained a resilient sense of community and culture, blending African traditions with new experiences in the Americas. They found ways to resist their oppression, whether through subtle acts of defiance, escaping to freedom, or organizing rebellions. Slavery's impact extended beyond the fields. It shaped the social fabric of the South, fostering a culture that justified the exploitation of human beings for economic gain. Religious leaders, political figures, and legal systems often supported or turned a blind eye to the practice, embedding it deeply into the colony's way of life. By the 1700s, the Southern colonies had become synonymous with plantation agriculture and slavery. The wealth generated by enslaved labor not only enriched the colonies, but also bolstered the economies of European nations and Northern American colonies. However, this wealth came at a tremendous moral and human cost, laying the groundwork for centuries of inequality and conflict. The Southern colonies serve as a stark reminder of the complexities of American history, how economic success was built on the backs of the oppressed, and how resilience and culture endured even in the face of unimaginable hardship. Understanding this chapter is crucial to grappling with the legacy of slavery and its lasting effects on the United States. The Southern colonies were a land of opportunity and hardship, where rich fields of tobacco and cotton drove prosperity but came at a great human cost. The contributions of enslaved Africans were foundational, shaping the culture and economy in ways that still resonate today. While the plantations symbolize wealth and growth, they also remind us of resilience and the strength of those who endured unimaginable struggles.